Hey guys, welcome back to the Smitty and Dee Show. Of course, I am Toni Dee, and in the studio we have an old family friend. I've known this person for many moons. We actually started our careers out together, and apparently hers went a little bit further than mine. I guess because I kind of stopped. But anyway, you may have seen her or heard her on the radio, V103, as well as your neighborhood strip club, maybe at the corner store, drinking, partying, at a drag show, child. I don't know. She's everywhere. But welcome to the studio, Miss Sophia.
Hi, Toni. How are you?
Hi, Mames. How are you?
I'm the original dancer from Magic City for those that are trying to figure out who I am. It's me.
Y'all money went to good causes over here. What you been up to?
Oh, everything. You know, I'm doing the show now. Streaming radio. You know, weareyouRadio.com. I'm on from 2 to 6. Okay. So it's Miss Sophia and the Laughing Hyenas Club Chit Chat. So when I say Club Chit Chat, a lot of people think that I'm actually at the club in Atlanta called Chit Chat. I'm like, no. It's just a make-believe club that me and my Laughing Hyenas, you know, we created.
What's the Laughing Hyena?
My followers. You know, like the Beehive and the Maddie Mob.
Yes.
Laughing Hyenas are my followers. Yes.
So, y'all, we used to work together at V103, Portia Fox show.
We were tortured.
Yes. I had some words with Wanda one time. But you worked with Portia on her show on Fridays when you first started. Right. What happened from that point to how did you get on the morning show, the main show?
Right. See, a lot of people thought that I started off with the morning show, Frank and Wanda morning show, but it was actually Portia Fox on Friday. And what happened was Portia invited me to come and sit in the studio with her one day because before all of this, I went to a comedy club. Ricky, what's his name?
Ricky Smiley?
Not Ricky Smiley. What's the child name, honey? The comedian, honey. He had a comedy club here. Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker had a comedy club in Atlanta. So I went and signed up to do amateur night. You know, I went and signed up as Joe. Then I went back as Sophia.
Yeah, I remember you as Joe.
Yeah, so then when I went to the comedy club that night, they were like, they kept asking me because, you know, it was like, they were charging people like you a bar tab and all of that stuff. So you paid your bar tab and everything, you know, at the end. So then it was just like amateur night, they say they have like 10, 15 people there, but this night they had to turn people away because it was so packed. And what happened was I was hosting a drag show on Monday night, so I was just telling everybody every Monday, I'm doing my first stand-up comedy, you know, show at Chris Tucker's Comedy Club, you know, such. So that day it was just like they had to turn people away. So they kept coming to me and they were asking me like, could we put another comedian before you? I'm like, sure, because I already knew, you know, they figured the people that came to see me, they're gonna, you know, end up leaving once I perform. So they trying to milk them out all this money. So it's like, okay. Then they kept coming back. Can we put another? I'm like, oh, fine, sure. Then they kept coming. So then they came back the last time and they was like, so we don't have time for any more amateurs. Now, mind you, I went as a boy and signed up, but now I'm in full drag. And I'm back then, I was like the RuPaul, you know, like giving y'all natural like I'm doing today. But, you know, did all of that. So I was like, well, no, you know, I did a whole lot. I didn't just throw something on and come up here to perform. A lot of people came out to see me and blah, blah, blah. So it just came into this big thing, but we'll get into that story later. So I'm thinking, this is how Portia and all of them met me at V103. So with everything that went down at Chris Tucker's Comedy Club, they invited me to come to the morning show. Ryan Cameron, he was over at the other show at Hot. So he invited me to come on because the word got out. This drag queen was at Chris Tucker's Comedy Club and blah, blah, blah. And they turned it out and blah, 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 blah. So, long story short, Portia invited me to sit in with her on one Friday. She said, will you come sit in with me one Friday? Because I was getting my 15 minutes of fame. You know, Ryan Cameron had me at Hot, and then Frank and Wanda had me, and then Portia had me on Friday. So when I sit in with Portia on Friday, she was like, after the show, she was like, oh my God, you were fabulous. How about you come every Friday? So she's like, Friday's your day. And I was like, cool. So that's how I ended up on Portia's show. And then from Portia's show, Frank went on vacation for 2 weeks. Now, you know, in any job, you go on vacation for a week, and then later on in the year, you go on another week. You take another week. So this particular year, Frank decided that he wanted to go on vacation 2 weeks. And so when they came to him, they was like, well, you know, you can't take no 2 weeks. We can give you 1 week. And he was like, well, no, I already paid for my family flight, and we're going on vacation, and then I can't get my money back for the cruise. We're going on a cruise, and blah, 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 blah. So he had tapped their hands. So they was like asking Wanda, well, what do you want to do? You know, so I had sit in with them, you know. So she said, well, let me call Sophia and see if she's available, and then she could come and sit in with me, like, you know, this week. And it was so funny because at that time I had just moved to Atlanta, so I was back and forth because they didn't want to let me go in Dallas. So I was flying to Dallas, do my show, then I come back to Atlanta, do my show, then I'm flying to Dallas. So I got burned out on that. So I was just like, you know, this is my last week. I can't do the back and forth because it seemed like the week was coming. It was rolling around real fast, so it's time for me to go get on this plane again. So I'm just like, I said I wasn't going to do that. And just so happened that Wanda called me when I decided that I wasn't going to go back to Dallas anymore. I was just going to, you know, do Atlanta. So she said, are you available? I'm like, sure, I'm available, blah, 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 blah. So it's just like I tell everybody, it was just like the movie Petey Green. If you watch that movie Petey Green, my radio career, I think they stole my life story when it comes to my radio career, because that's exactly how it happened. When I was there for that week with Wanda, and the Friday, the Thursday before the Friday that I was supposed to be my last day, they called me in the office. When I say they, I'm talking about Reggie. Reggie called me in the office, and he was like, Reggie Rouse, he was like, you've been great since you've been here, and the people are asking us to find a spot for you. And it's just like, you know, and we want you to come, and we come up with this idea if you want to accept this offer. So it's just like, I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's like, you're offered me a job. I haven't even filled out the application. So he had asked me, he showed me the research work. He said that the research work has been hired this week, and everybody said, you know, keep her. Y'all need to find something for her. So they offered me a part-time position on the morning show. And then they told me, it's exclusive. They told me at the time, we really want to give you a full-time position, but because it's somebody else's show, we don't want to feel like we're strong-arming them. So we're going to offer you a full-time position if you accept it. He said, but the thing about it is, just like there's a demand for you to stay and for us to find a position for you, there's going to be a demand for more of you. So when that demand happens, we'll make you full-time. So
can I say, though, from a listener's perspective, and of course I was on the radio at the same time, you brought so much life to that show in the morning. It's what it needed. Now, I love Wanda and Frank, child, I do, I promise. But I actually listened when you were on the show.
Well, I think that's what was so amazing about it, because it's just like, you know, until I was on the radio, first of all, you know, they didn't think that Frank didn't think that it would work, because we're in the Bible Belt, and they said there's no way that somebody.
We in Atlanta.
Yes, in Atlanta, but we're still in the Bible Belt, right? And they said there's no way that they are going to, you know, buy this. You know, a man in drag on the morning show when kids are up getting ready to go to school, and parents, they said they're not buying this in Atlanta, in the Bible Belt. And so when the research work came out, because they always figured that I would, you know, bring the women. But when the research work came out, you know, I was clear cut across the board. Men, women, children, all ages, all demographics. So it was just like,
funny is funny.
So then it was just like, once that happened, they saw that, oh girl, this is a hit. So then Frank saw with his little antics. It was just like, you know, trying to cut off my mic and, you know, doing the little stuff that he was doing and everything. But the thing about that is, I tell everybody, God is not going to send you nowhere where you're not ready. Before I met Frank Ski, I had already worked with somebody like a Frank Ski in Houston. So God had already prepared me for that lesson. So when Frank started with his little antics and stuff, I just ignored him. And ignoring him upset him even more. So it's just
I did not know know this. You are giving me tea.
Yes, ignoring him upset him more. And then it's just like he would sit in my face in the studio and say, great show and blah, 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 and you did this and you said this and da, 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 da. It's just like, okay, great show. You shine, we all shine, because we're the Frank Ski Morning Show. It's the Frank Ski Morning Show. So when you shine, we all shine, blah, blah, blah. But after you sat in my face and told me that, then you walk down the hall to Rick Caffey's office, the general manager, and you complain about me.
Because you were bigger than the star. Can I say that?
Yes, you can. It's your show.
Everybody says that. Everybody thought it was the Miss Sophia show.
But then it's just like, it took me when I left the first time, because a lot of people say I got fired, but it's just like, no, I left the first time.
Why'd you leave?
I left because they didn't offer me more money. I wanted more money because Frank renewed his contract. Now, mind you, that's when the stock market had failed. So Frank renewed his contract in December, I believe. His contract came up for renewal in December. They gave him a raise. No problem. In the recession. Wanda renewed her contract in February. They gave her a raise. No problem. We're in a recession. When it came to me to renew my contract in April, they told me that what CBS, we was on the CBS at the time, they said what CBS is doing is say when people contracts are coming up for renewal, they're either firing people, they're cutting their hours, or they're leaving their salaries the same. So I was like, well, I ain't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, well, no, Frank, got a raise. Wanda got a raise, and we was in the same recession. So now you're coming to me, the little person on the show, because it's the Frank and Wanda Morning Show. My name not on it. Frank and Wanda Morning Show with Girl Talk featuring Miss Sophia. So I was like, okay, well, since you can't give me a raise, how about they give me 2 more weeks of paid vacation on top of the ones that I already have? Okay, let me run that by corporate. You ran it by corporate. They got back with me and said, well, Sophia, I talked to corporate, and they said that what they want to do with your contract, they're going to leave your salary the same and everything's the same, blah, blah, blah. And then next year, when we, work it out, then we probably could give you, a raise or something. So I was like, in my mind, y'all gave Frank a raise, you gave Wanda a raise. Y'all didn't give them nothing to just talk about, the recession and all that. So I said, okay. I said, well, let me think about it. I left out of that office. I went called my mama. And I told my mama, I said, I'm getting ready to leave V103. She said, how? I said, I'm getting ready to leave V103. And I explained to her, I said, Frank contract came up for renewal, they gave him a raise. Wanda contract came up for renewal, they gave her a raise. My contract come up for renewal, they want to tell me about the recession and what CBS is doing and leaving people's contract the same and all that. I said, they don't want to give me a raise. I said, so what I'm getting ready to do is I'm only going to do the bare minimum of my contract. And I say, I know they're not going to go for that because I have been giving them above and beyond what my contracts call for.
That part.
So then I told my mom, I said, I'm not going to quit because if I quit, I'm not going to get my severance package. So I'm not going to quit. So I said, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. And that's it. I said, so they're going to end up letting me go. She said, okay, baby, well, whatever. So, if that's what you want to do, mama stand behind you. So then I went to work and all that extra going out to events and all of that. I'm like, no. So they called me into a meeting and they said, Sophia, they said, we want you to cover more entertainment events and we want you to do such and such. We want you to do this and then they say, could you do that? I said, yes, I could do that. So I said, okay. So then we went back to work the next week. So, it's like Girl Talk was at, if Girl Talk was at 6:30, I would call in at 6:15. I said, hi, I'm not coming in today. I said, I'm going to take a sick day. I said, huh? I said, yeah, I'm going to take a sick day. So I said, oh, okay. Next day came, 6:20. I called, hi, I'm not coming in today. I'm going to take a sick day. I said, huh? I said, yeah, I'm going to take a sick day.
Again.
So then when I went to work, the next day, they said, Rick Caffey wants to meet with you after the show today. So I knew this was the day that I was going to be let go. So I went in the office and he said, we asked you. We said we had a meeting with you, and we asked you if you could cover more events and blah 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 and blah blah blah. You said that you would. I said no. I said I never said I would. I said I could do that. I said yes, I could do that. I never said I would do that. He said okay. He said but then all of a sudden you called in sick, and you still went and did your club gigs that night, but you called in sick. So you were sick. I said I never said I was sick. I said I was going to use one of my sick days. So then he did less like that. So they sit back. So it's just like, oh, this bitch playing with us. So then he said, well, anyway, what we have decided to do is CBS is going in another direction and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, and this is your severance package, and you can look at this, and you could take, like, you have up to 30 days to look at it and blah, blah, blah. And if you have disputed, or if you don't want to accept it, then you can do that and blah blah blah. Give it. I said, oh no, I signed it right now. He said, what? I said, yeah. So they gave it to me and I signed it. So I left, and then but before I went in the office to the meeting, it was the last day. I knew it was gonna be my last day because I had did all the shenanigans, and they had enough of them shenanigans. So I went into the studio, and Frank wasn't there. He wasn't there that day. He was out. Same thing that happened to Nina Brown. I remember recently. Frank was out of town. Then he came back, and Nina Brown was let go when he came back. So it was just like he wasn't there. And then I went in the studio. It was Wanda, and it was Mark D. And Wanda asked me to do something. She said, Sophia, come on, sit in here with us all day. I looked at her. I said, on my last day, are you serious? And she had looked like, what is she talking about? I know you know. But I didn't say nothing. I just said, on my last day, are you serious? And I just turned around and walked out of the studio. So,
whoa, that's a story. Wait, let me ask you this. Do you think there's more politics in radio or in TV?
There's more politics in life, period. Seriously. It's just like, politics is in everything. Yeah. It's in radio, it's in TV, it's in music, it's in the church, it's in the schools, politics is in everything. So.
So how do you feel about Wanda and Frank now?
I'm at a place now where I recognize that the reason I was so disappointed when I left, and I had to admit this to myself, because you're just like, after the breakup, which is called, after the breakup, you have to sit down with yourself and like, well, what happened? Because I was always, just like you ask somebody, how you doing? I say, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Really, they're not fine. So just like after that, when people say, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. But once I sat down and I thought about the situation, I evaluated the situation, I really found out that I was really disappointed in Wanda, because Wanda, I didn't go home for Christmas to be with my family for the holidays, because I decided to go to my friend's wedding in Florida, for the holidays. So I sacrificed not going home for the holidays, which is what I like to do for Christmas. So it's just like I was disappointed in her that she didn't, give me the heads up, because I knew she knew. I knew they had conversations, because it's the Frank and Wanda Morning Show. And they're not going to do nothing with the Frank and Wanda Morning Show without consulting Frank and Wanda. Just like when they hired me, they talked to Frank and Wanda before they brought me in. So it's just like I was disappointed in her that she did not reach out to me even after I left. Because it's just like, it was a while before I even spoke to Wanda after I left V103. I didn't expect, to hear from Frank. I didn't expect to hear from Nina, because of the relationships that we had while we were at the station. So it's just like.
And Nina was the producer, right?
Yeah, Nina was the producer. And so it's just like now, I'm to the point where, I can speak to them. Hi, I call Wanda, I talk to her. I call Wanda's mom still. Talk to her mom and check on her when the hurricanes and everything in Florida. I think about her mama first and her sister, and I call and I check on her and all that. But yeah, it was a process that I had to go through before I can get to the point where I could admit that I was upset at Wanda. I didn't expect that from Frank and Nina. I didn't expect them to reach out to me. But now I'm to the place where I can also say that when Frank was giving me certain advice, he was right. But because the message was coming from a messenger that I did not respect, because they did not respect me, it went in one ear and out the other ear.
Ooh. 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 Well, shout out to Wanda and Frank, because I'm friends with Wanda online now. We had our little issues back in the day, but we good now, child. She doing stuff in Africa. She is. Yeah, she gives
Africa
money.
Street.
No, I think she's doing something in like Ghana or something. She really. We talked.
Really?
We went into in depth about it.
Well, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, she keeps it on the low.
I just talked to her. Well, talked to her recently.
Really?
I ain't heard nothing about the Africa, so I'm gonna have to call her.
No, seriously, because I was doing stuff in Haiti, which most people don't know, but we had a business in Haiti, and so we were trying to hire all these people or whatever, and she knew about it. She sent me all of these videos of her donating and getting rice and building houses or whatever it is that she was doing.
Oh, she was sending over donations. Oh, I thought she was over in Africa, working over in Africa.
No.
Oh, she's donating.
She's donating, but they love her.
I donated to the presidential campaign. It's totally different from
That
out
does
there working,
not count.
knocking on doors and everything. Yeah, when you say working, I thought she was like, who is that, Jay-Z? I thought she was over there building water wells and things, getting folks some water and stuff. Wanda working at Apple.
That's coming, Wanda. That's coming. Tell him, girl. Tell him. She don't like to tell people, but she's doing some stuff. But I see Frank from time to time, and he doesn't know who the hell I am.
Oh, baby, he irritates me every time I'm watching. I'm watching my news in the morning, and he comes on there with Fred Blankenship. So Frank, can you tell me? Oh, Fred is so wrong. I'm like, oh my God, please, not this morning, not him. And then they be talking this stuff they be talking about. It be like, girl, who cares? It's just like, who cares? Nobody care about that. It's basically, last night I clipped my toenail, Fred. I'm like, who cares, honey?
Oh my God! Oh my God! You're gonna leave Frank alone?
Yeah, I have. Oh my God! But he's still in the business, honey. He's still in the business. So am I. I'm just not, stream radio.
Mr. Doodoo Brown. You guys look that up.
Oh, baby! And every time I'm somewhere at a party, a wedding, or something, if I do an event, a gay event, child, they like Doodoo Brown. I'm like, oh, turn that off, please.
Let me tell you, I had a whole routine in 7th grade to Doodoo Brown. Tanisha, Shauna, Taisha, y'all know we had a whole routine to Doodoo Brown.
But look, and that's the thing. Frankie is still trying to act like he's the same age when that first came out. Now he's sitting up there looking like Paw Paw, and he's trying to act like he's still in his teens. I'm like, right, let it go. Let it go, Paw Paw. We know you have been around for years, for centuries.
How old is Frankie now?
93. 93, honey.
You gonna leave Frankie alone?
Maybe they gonna cancel you.
Can somebody edit this right? We love you, Frank. I'm actually probably gonna see him this weekend at this wine event. But let's talk quickly.
Still doing that? Go ahead. The wine tag.
Hi, Frank. Remember this face now. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm like, we worked together for years.
Oh.
Okay. Let's talk about the thing, because Nikki Gilbert was on the show earlier.
Uh-huh.
You were in one of her shows. Talk about that experience. And then did you see the comparison, stop it, with the Cabaret and P-Valley?
Soul Kittens Cabaret.
Soul Kittens Cabaret.
Soul Kittens Cabaret, honey. Nikki Gilbert show. Let me tell you something. This is how God works. That's how I know God has a sense of humor. Nikki Gilbert, I wasn't supposed to be in that show. Mm-hmm. And I was the lead character.
So you were
Tata.
So you were P-Valley's version of
Uncle Clifford.
Uncle Clifford.
So Jason, this guy named Jason was supposed to be Tata, but something happened, and then he told Nikki Gilbert, he recommended me for the part. I only had a week to learn the lines. Mm-hmm. And then they were so impressed because like, oh my God, you learned all these lines. Da, 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 da. So it's like, yeah. So fast forward. So we do the show. So then it comes out, P-Valley comes out. So then here comes Nikki Gilbert talking about, they stole my idea. And then she did an interview where she talked about how she sat down with some of the executives with whatever company it was. She said, I sat down and I pitched my idea to them.
With Lionsgate, yeah.
And then they were talking about, she was talking about how they waited like years and years and years, and it's just like, I guess she was supposed to forget that she had pitched the idea to them, so now years later, y'all don't remember, and they come out with P-Valley, so then she's like, they stole my idea. And then everybody was like, oh my God, here she goes. She just bitter. She needs to get somewhere and sit down and blah, blah, blah. So some of my friends, they was like, girl, yeah, she needs to get somewhere and sit down and blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, well, no, y'all. Well, since y'all brought it up and since she brought it up, it's just like now I'm thinking about it. There are a lot of similarities to the play Soul Kittens Cabaret and P-Valley. So then she started posting clips side by side. She said, this is a scene from Soul Kittens Cabaret, and this is a scene from P-Valley. And then it's just like, well, how you gonna argue with the facts? It's right here. So she just kept doing that. So a lot of people, including my friend T.S. Madison, who wanted to talk about it, because when they want to talk about it, I was like, well, girl, that's not my fight, that's her fight. But I want her to go on and get them checks so we all can get some checks. But then a lot of people came back and they said, Sophia, you was right. At first we thought she was just being an angry, bitter black woman. But then when she put the side-by-side comparison, it's just like, y'all gonna cut that woman her check. Yeah. Because it's obvious, y'all. It's obvious that y'all have stolen her idea.
She said it was 57 comparisons.
Baby, I watched it. And then it's just like, with her taking them to court, she done put me back on the map because, like I said, in most of the clips, I'm the lead character, so I'm in most of the clips. So it's just like, I got some free advertisement from Nikki Gill suing P-Valley.
Y'all need to play homage.
It was me, Fantasia, Faith Evans, Monifa, Terrell, Carter. It was just like, yeah.
Wow.
All these people's in this show. And then, Jason, the guy who recommended me for the part, he passed recently. So it's just like,
I heard.
Yeah. And to see Nikki going through this, and then it's just like, it's like cut and dry. So now they're to the point where they're trying to figure out if the judge going to allow them to go to court and put all the evidence in front of a jury. And it's just like, why we have to go through all that? We're just wasting taxpayers' money. And it's like, I talked to her and I spoke to her and I was like, you know what? Going up against the machine, that's not an easy thing. And a lot of people, they think, they see her on TV doing interviews and everything, and they think that, she can handle it. But it's just like, that takes time. Just
and
like
money. A lot of money.
Just like you sitting here doing this show, it takes time to put this stuff together. So then just imagine she have to incorporate that with everything else that she has going on in her life. And she has grandchildren, she has children, she has a husband, she has a family. And then she's out making business moves still.
Yeah.
And then she has to incorporate, this into her already busy schedule. So it's just like, shouts out to her, honey.
So in your opinion, you think that it does? There's a lot of comparisons.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They have stolen her idea. And they perfected it. But what they did not do is change the storyline. And the whole setup. I was the owner of a cabaret, Soul Kittens Cabaret. The dancers, the girls came and they danced in the cabaret. Then the young character came in.
And nobody liked.
The young character came in. All the people, they didn't like her because of her youthfulness. It's just like she reminded them of what they used to be. And so they look at her as one day she's going to replace her.
Yeah.
So they were giving her all kind of flack, just like they do on P-Valley. Baby.
It's exact.
It's black and black. Not black and white, it's black and black. And they just need to pay the woman.
Jeez.
They need to pay her.
Whew. We've learned a lot. Let's talk about this libidiqua. I like to call it libidiqua. The LGBTQIA.
Before we get into libidiqua, let me just tell you, somebody else created a word recently.
What?
I was having a conversation with somebody and they asked me if I went to a certain restaurant, and I was like, well, no, I've never been to that restaurant, but I say it's quite busy. Every time, I pass by it, it's quite busy. He said, I went over there, but we just had one problem. I was like, what's the problem? He said, when I got my bill and I paid my bill and they had charged me for gratuity. I said, what? He said, yeah, they had charged me $6 for gratuity. So I was like, okay, so he was really talking about gratuity. So he said gratuity. So I said, that's going to be a new word that I'm going to use. Gratuity.
Gratuity.
And then I told one of my friends, she was like, well, did you correct him? I said, no, boo. I said, we're living in an age now where people don't like being corrected. So I went with gratuity. They shouldn't have charged him no gratuity.
Y'all heard it here first. We about to make this. We about to make this a word.
Put it on T-shirts. Hashtag grutility.
Keto. We're gonna do this, but let's talk about this LGBTQIA. Can I say that LGBTQIA?
Yeah, it's on LGBTQ plus.
Yes, you just added the plus right there.
LGBTQ plus I. You know, it's everything.
You're original. How do you feel about these he, she, they, him? Like, how do you feel about all of that? Is that a
For
young...
me?
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
This is me, Toni.
Okay.
For me.
Gotcha.
It's stupid.
Okay.
But for everyone else, if that's what they want to be
Yeah.
referred to as he, and you're looking at she, but she identifies as he, and if you're looking at he and he identifies as she, if that's what they want to be referred to, then you respect them in their presence. But like somebody come up to me, well, my pronouns are they and them. I say, well, I only see you, so I'm gonna need you to go back over there with them. Yeah, it's too much. And I'm a part of the community. I'm a part of a community, honey, and it's just like, it's too much for us. So I don't want the people in the outside of the gay community to think that this is just an issue that they are having with the community. We on the inside of the community, it's just like, when is enough enough? Just like, when is enough enough? Because we're fighting the wrong fights.
That part.
And then it's just like, I don't see no reason for nobody. This is for gay and heterosexuals. I don't see no reason for nobody to get a divorce now because somebody is cheating.
I agree with you.
It's just like, baby, all you have to do is tell your partner, because everything is gay. If you are a boy, you like to sleep with boys, that's fine. If you a boy, a girl, you like to sleep with girls, that's fine. If you're a boy, you want to sleep with, two girls, that's fine. If you a girl, you want to sleep with a trans man and a trans woman, that's fine. It's just like the perimeters, there are no walls no more.
Right,
so it's just like the walls have been knocked down. So it's whatever you want invited to your relationship. It's open. It's open. So the whole thing with Will and Jada. For years, people have been saying Will and Jada's relationship was staged, that both of them was a part of the LGBTQIA community. For years, people have been saying that. So now it's just like, people are talking about Will and Jada. So it's just like, now Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on with them? Then it's just like, when I see Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, all I think about is this humongous wedding that they had and how beautiful it was. I mean, that wedding was off the chain. And then to come to today and they're talking about, look like they're heading for Splitsville. So it's just like, well, what? Well, everything, it's just like, everything is, you don't have to hide no more.
You don't.
You come out of the
Plus,
closet.
everybody got evidence anyway. There's cameras everywhere, child.
And then, what's his name, the basketball player?
The one that said don't, yeah.
Oh, he been sued right now. It's just like, what's his name, girl?
What's his name?
He's cute, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like, this is my opinion. When I saw
views
Dwight
of
Howard,
the Smitty and Dee Show.
I'm a huge sports fan. I love football. I love basketball. I love tennis. I love soccer. Not soccer. I love all of them. But ever since I seen Dwight Howard, I said Dwight Howard is a part of our community.
You knew that.
I knew it because it's just like, and then the reason I say that is because there's a certain way that gay men groom themselves. And Dwight Howard checked all the boxes. So then when it's like, I wouldn't tell people for a long time, say, oh, he's gay. Oh, he's gay. They're like, y'all think everybody gay? No, it's like, you've been in the gay community for a while. You had to go gaydar. You could tell, who's like me. So then it was just like, I said, so finally one day I went and I said, they said, why you say? I said, because it's a certain way gay men groom themselves and he fits the mold. And then they say, well, no, he's probably European. He's probably a man, with that metrosexual. So it's just like, okay, girl, if you feel that way, go ahead. He's a metrosexual.
How did you know when you were growing up? What was your signs? Because everybody's talking about you can't be born this way.
Never have been attracted to women. Never.
Wow.
Been attracted to women, even as a child. We was playing mamas and daddies. I'm gonna be the mama. I'm out there making the mud cakes. I'm not, never been attracted to women.
Okay.
And so I always knew.
Did your parents know? And how did you come out?
Funny story. Not funny story. I never came out.
They just knew.
My parents just knew. And see, I was a part of the generation, I think I'm part of the last generation where I didn't have to have the discussion with my parents because my parents already knew. Mm-hmm. And when I was an adult, I realized that my parents protected me as a child because they knew. Mm-hmm. Like, our son is different. So they put the protection around me where all that stuff that kids and used to, they run away from home and, you know, parents kicking them out and all that stuff. I didn't have to deal with that. And it wasn't until after I left home and moved out on my own that I realized how protected I was as a child. And then I assumed that all gay kids had the same protection that I had growing up. And it wasn't until I got out on my own that I realized all of the different horror stories that a lot of gay people dealt with and are still dealing with that I didn't have to go through. So I never came out. And then it's just like I was sitting down watching the Oprah Winfrey Show. Me and my mom, we were sitting down, we was watching the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she was talking about something. It was a gay subject on there. So now I'm in college. So my mom is asking me, and she was, when they went to commercial, she was like, "Junior, are you gay?" That was the first time she ever asked me that. So I didn't say nothing. I was watching the commercial just like I was into the TV. So then she asked me again, "Junior, are you gay?" And I still didn't say nothing. So then she asked, she said, "I know you hear me." I said, "Mama, be quiet." The Oprah Winfrey Show had came back on. I said, "Mama, be quiet. The show back on." And we never discussed it again until years later. My mom went through a situation with my younger brother. And my mom told me, she said, "You know, I'll take a gay child any day over a child that's dealing with, you know, what my brother was dealing with at the time." So, and other than that, we never had a conversation about it. Never. Me and my mom, my dad, my sisters, we never had a conversation about it. So all this coming out of the closet and all of that, I was never in the closet.
Let me ask you this. We're in Atlanta, and we've got a lot of down low men.
Are you sure?
I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe when I first got here, maybe they out now.
No, they're still in.
How do you feel about this? Do you feel like they should just come out? What's the reasoning? Why are they not coming out?
You know, it's easy for me to say, you know, they should, because I didn't have that struggle. We never know what a person dealt with, you know, growing up. We've never been in their shoes. We haven't walked in their shoes. So it's just like, do I feel they should? I would love for everybody to be able to be them authentic selves. But, you know, for certain reasons, certain people can't do that. It's just like some gay guys and some lesbians, their parents, because they were trying to fit the mold of what society say you're supposed to be with a man and a woman. So when they've been with a man and a woman, now they have kids. So here it is, you years later, you want to live your life, you want to be your authentic self, but then it's just like you don't want to because you don't want to put that on your kids, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like certain people don't want to do it because their careers will be at stake. You know, although we say, just come out and do this, we want people to come out for us to be comfortable. But if those people come out and they lose their career, what do you have to offer them to make a living? To maintain their lifestyle. So it's just like we want people to make decisions that are easy for us to make because we're not in their shoes.
Right.
But if you take the time to talk to those people, you'll see why it is that they are still in the closet. They have their own stories. And it's just like I said, you know, I don't think nobody should be in the closet because everything is everything. You don't have to.
Yeah.
What's
but
the
it
reason?
still might be hard for them to get jobs or.
Listen, if Bruce Jenner could come out years
Baby,
when he turned
a white woman.
Bruce Jenner came out when she turned 103 years old and turned herself into Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
Nobody. I mean, nobody.
He was on my Wheaties box. I was mad. I was like, what's going on here? All right, Miss Sophia, are you ready?
I stay ready. Shirley Rap. Now, I don't know if she was the one that originated this quote, but I always said it. I say give her the credit because she was the first person I hear say it. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
There you go. All right. Anyway, are you ready for random questions? No, I'm not. What trend? Wait a minute. Here's the rules. Okay. Here these rules now. All right. quick, fast, whatever, funny. If you got a story, great. But these are really random.
Okay.
So I'm preparing you for that.
Cursing is allowed?
Cursing is definitely allowed. It's
Okay. I try to
encouraged.
censor myself because, sometimes I get an engagement at the church and I can't be cussing at the church.
I miss Sophia cursing. All right. What trend do you want to see go away?
The trend that I want to see go away is all black Republicans.
Really?
Yes.
That's the one you chose. I actually like it.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's just like, I know everybody have their opinion. And, some people are independent, some people are Democrats, some people are Republicans, some people are Green Party, some people are... It's just like every time we have a black Republican to speak, just like now, Tim Scott running for president, with everything that Ron DeSantis is doing in Florida.
That part.
And then he has even attacked our black history. And then you have this candidate that's standing on the stage with him tonight. You go into these debates and you're not... It's like, what's that all about? And then you have Byron, that they keep putting him in the nomination to be the Speaker of the House. He don't have a chance in hell on being Speaker of the House, but you are letting them use you because of the color of your skin, which is what your people fought for. Where you wouldn't have to go through that. But then it's just like, and it's all the black Republicans, the ones that are out there and that we see, like Donald Trump had a whole slew of Diamond and whatever her name, then the preacher, then the police officer, all these I want black Republicans to just go away. Now, if you are a black Republican and you are talking like you got some sense, but you all are sitting up here trying to convince us that they don't look at you like you a nigga. You are standing in front of the camera trying to convince us, the black people, that these Republicans don't look at you and think you a nigga. And they do. And I just want all of them to go away. If you don't even have to come to the Democratic Party. I just want you to lead the Republican Party. All black Republicans. Start your own party. Start your own party. I want that trend to go away.
I wanted to talk more about that, but I'm going to let it go.
Go. No, let's talk. We discussed it.
I want to know, is it okay to be a conservative? Because black Republicans don't have a place to go other than being a Republican.
But...
I guess independent.
It's just like I'm saying. It's just like create your own party. And it's the same thing, the same problem that I had with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders ran as a Democrat. He's not a Democrat.
He's not.
You're independent.
Very much so.
But he even admitted, he said, I'm running as a Democrat because everybody looks at an independent as a person that is not going to win, and it's hard for us to accept and collect donations. So it's just like, so Bernie Sanders then told us he's using our party to raise money because if he ran as his authentic self, he wouldn't raise no money. He wouldn't even be in the fight. So he's using us, and we okay with that. We okay with that, Democrats? And we say,
I got a friend who's definitely Democrat that's running for Republican. I ain't gonna say their name.
Who?
I ain't gonna say their name, but I know them personally. They're very close to me, and he is definitely a Democrat.
But a lot. Let me just tell you this. The reason Donald Trump won. There are several reasons I feel Donald Trump won as the president. One is a lot of Hispanics told us that they were voting for Hillary Clinton, and they went in that booth and they voted for Donald Trump. Two is a lot of black people told us they were voting for Hillary Clinton, and they went in that booth and they voted for a businessman. Not Donald Trump. They voted for a businessman because they felt like America was a business and he has business experience. So I'm going to give him a shot. Three is a lot of Americans are not ready for a woman to lead the United States. So they said they were voting for Hillary Clinton, but they went in there and voted for Donald Trump. So those are three of the reasons that I could just think of off the top of my head. The reason Donald Trump ended up being the president. And if we don't be careful this go round, Donald Trump could be the president again.
At 99.
190. But where's Melania? A lot of people need to treat Donald Trump trying to be president this go round just like Melania. She's just ghost. Nobody know where she is.
How do you feel about Israel and Palestine right now?
How do I feel about Israel and Palestine? When you know the history, you look into history, it's the same thing that happened to the United States.
Explain.
Indigenous people. You know, Christopher Columbus came over here and discovered nothing. And it's the same thing that's going on with Ukraine and Russia. Russia is still in territory from Ukraine. The same thing is going on with Palestine and Israel. They have been divided and taking land from, you know, those people for years. And now it's just like, okay, enough is enough. When people get sick and tired, honey, they get sick and tired. And a lot of people, it's just like Israel and Palestinians. You have to support both of them. It's Hamas that's the enemy. And what Hamas has done was went over in Palestine and set up camp in Palestine. It's just like, they done went over there and trying to act like they their friend. Hey, I'm here to help you. I'm da-da-da, and I'm here to help you, and blah. We the same. Me, you, we the same. You know, just like some of these Oriental shops in the black neighborhood. We same, you know. What was that movie when they started burning down stuff?
I can't stand you.
No. We the same. Me, you, we same. No, baby, you black, you Asian, I'm black. But it's the same thing. They done went in there and fooled those people into making them think we're here to help. And so now they done bombed Israel.
So Hamas have bombed Israel
from Palestine. And so now a lot of people think that Palestine is attacking Israel. It's like, no, that's Hamas. But because they are just, it's just like, you know, just like us in this room, we don't know. It's the same thing with them people over there in Palestine. It's just like, they don't know. It's just like they don't know who to trust now, because all these years you've been with these people and you thinking that they're a part of you, and then come to find out they've been setting up camps, and now innocent people are being killed because they are tracing these people in like these neighborhoods and stuff. And then one of the things that I think is this is for all black people. It's just like when we had the Black Lives Matter movement, when it first started, and then it grew into this big old thing, we were excited when we saw white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, when we saw different, you know, cultures marching with Black Lives Matter. That told us, oh, we on to something here. We are trying to become the melting pot. So now it's just like with the whole thing that's going on with Israel and Palestine, it's just like, where are we? Where are we? We need to be, these people in the United States, you know, they marching. You know, where are we? We're not a part of their march. We need to be out there. And it's just like, but
I know so many black people say it's not my struggle. It's not my fight.
Every struggle.
But
is
if you
your
look
struggle.
at those Palestinians, they look black. I was looking at this little girl. I said, "Oh my God, that looks like my child."
But not only that, we need to stop looking at people as Palestinians or Israelites, and just look at people as human beings. It's just, how can you look at the news and see what's going on with those kids? It's just like we're sitting here right now. We're sitting here right now, you interviewing me, and we having a conversation, you know, producers and everything in here. And then it's just like, all of a sudden, if a bomb hit this building and it just go down, what? We don't think about stuff like that because we're in America. It's supposed to be the home of the brave, land of the free, the home of the brave. We don't think about stuff like that. But it happened in New York. We wasn't expecting those planes to fly into those buildings. So it's just like, we had September the 11th. We had that. Just imagine some people in other parts of the country, which is what we don't think about. Some people in other parts of the country, they have 9/11 every day.
Ooh.
We had it one day, and we still are struggling with the anniversary of that one day.
Our whole
but we
culture
never think
changed.
about people that live 9/11 every day.
Every day. They're getting bombed every day.
Every
Thousands
day.
of people are dying every day.
You in a place that you think is a safe haven.
And they tell you to go there. That's the other thing. Go to the south side.
Hospitals.
And they bomb it. That's crazy. Going on to a lighter note. Who has better hygiene, gay man or straight man?
Baby.
Talk about it.
Oh, it's even.
You think it's even?
It's even. Because I'm not going to say all gay men are all gay men and all straight men. Because I've met both on both sides.
Okay.
Now, going back to me, child, I assume I assumed growing up that all gay men knew how to clean, especially their house and their bodies.
Yeah.
But it took me growing up and going to some gay men houses. It's like, oh, girl, your kitchen look like that. Your restroom look like. Do y'all ever clean up? Then I have been to some straight men's homes. It's like, oh, I can tell it's a bachelor's pad. And that's another thing that the heterosexual community, y'all gonna have to stop doing. Y'all keep giving the straight men passes and stuff like that. You go to their house and it's nasty. Oh, that's a bachelor's pad. Nah, bitch, you need to clean up. This is nasty. You need to be on Hoarders or something. The TV show Hoarders. They need to come on, move that truck. They need to come do this house over. You nasty. Same thing with gay people. Right? Y'all talk about their house nasty. Oh, that's just what, he's a straight man. He's, that's what men do. No. Same thing with, oh, he not gay. He's a metrosexual. Oh, okay, girl. Y'all keep giving them passes. Now you're going to start being real with them, honey. Let them know.
Okay, so do you have a hit list? I asked the last guest that. Do you have a hit list that people that you don't mess with?
People that I don't mess with,
you don't talk to?
Yes.
Is it long? Is it short?
Yes. The tricky part about that is when you say that you are a Christian, you're not supposed to, hold what is grudges and all that stuff. But yeah, I have a hit list because some people, they will take advantage of that. They know you're a Christian, so they'll try to take advantage of that. So it's just like people that I don't mess with, and it's like it's several in several different arenas, and they know. Because I put off that energy when I'm around you. Right. And it's just like, I give you this look like, don't even attempt to try to speak to me because you already know I don't F with you. And it's really a sad thing because as a Christian, you don't want to be like that. Right. But it's just like, I can love you from a distance. Right. And then it's just like, I have seen how you mistreat everybody else, and knowing that that's a part of your character, I'm not going to stick around and wait till it's my turn. So since I know that's a part of your character, I'm just going to be over here and you stay over there. And if we meet in the middle, just keep going. Let's just pass each other.
Well, my last question is, it's the end, babes, and it's God. You're going to see, the pearly gates, if that's what you believe. What do you hope God says to you?
Baby, you know what I want God to say to me, and I'm going to say this, but I just have to let you know, my relationship with God is just like my relationship with any of my other friends. God and I, we're friends. Like right now, me and God, we at odds. Because of my financial situation. Me and God, God and I are at odds with each other because of my financial situation. And some other things that are going on. But I'm not gonna leave him and he's not gonna leave me. But when I get to the pearly gates, what I want God to say is, nigga, get in here. He said,
can't make that up.
I didn't know if you was coming as a man or a woman, but nigga, get in here.
Oh my God. Can you do us the honor of doing your intro from Wanda?
Can I don't know. Do I remember that?
Yes, you do.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia, with a little girl talk. Remember when I talk, you talk, we talk, that's girl talk on the people station, honey. V to the 103. 3.
Listen, I used to wait for that in the morning when I was waking up. A lot of people watch, and that's bad. Still, that's good for you.
But people still, I see people to this day. When are you going back to radio? I am on the radio. I'm at WERU Radio. We are you radio.
You need to get back to V because V is boring.
How you doing?
Tell them where they can find you.
I'm right here. Did y'all put a screen in front of me? They can't see me.
Social media.
Oh. Every now and then I go to my YouTube. Sophia McIntosh. Facebook is Sophia McIntosh. And then IG, The Real Miss Sophia. My account, I don't do that. I'm looking over here. Okay, let me start off. Yes. YouTube is Sophia McIntosh, and then Facebook is Sophia McIntosh, and then IG is The Real Miss Sophia, and Twitter, I X'd them before he X'd us. So I'm not on Twitter. I deleted that account. IG. The real Miss Sophia.
Miss Sophia.
But Twitter, I'm not on Twitter. And then for old school, MySpace. You go to my MySpace page.
You ain't got no TikTok?
Girl, again, yes, honey, but it's like my Facebook. I mean, it's like my TikTok and my YouTube channel, they running a race. Each one I'm trying to see who can get me on there the most.
Ooh, you got to get this money, babe.
Well, you talking about getting the money, honey. The money is at OnlyFans. Now that's...
You showing feet pics? Huh? You showing feet pics?
No, seriously. I know we're not talking no more, but when I started, because my OnlyFans, when I heard about OnlyFans, what my idea was, I was going to do like monologues because I'm an actress. I was going to do monologues. And I was going to do part of the monologues, and then I was going to say, go to my OnlyFans page to see me do the whole monologue. So then I, signed up for, OnlyFans, and they told me that, when I took the picture for my ID and somebody, it was a shadow on it, and you can't have no shadow. So it was like, so I called Maddie. I was asking her about OnlyFans, so she was like, okay. So she was like, well, no, I'm gonna talk to you about it. So then I ended up asking Craig, Craig the writer Stewart. So he told me, he said, Sophia, he told me how to do it and everything. Then once he walked me through everything, he said, Sophia, why you want OnlyFans? I said, because everybody's doing it now. He said, but Sophia, what you talking about doing? You talking about getting on there doing some dramatic monologue, because I just say, I'm going to do part of Viola Davis from Fences. I'm going to do part of the monologue, and then I'm going to go on there and do the whole monologue. Well, I love you, Troy. That boy, everything he did, I was going to do that. He said, that's not what they doing. They on there selling sex. I said, oh, well, that's why they had that shadow on my ID, honey. God told me, like, baby, you know what you're getting into, honey. Come on up out of here. Oh, God. And I talked to another one of my friends, and he told me, he said, originally, it was for ideas like that. But like everything else, people turn into sex sites.
So you guys understand, is Sophia McIntosh on all social media platforms pretty much? Or Miss Sophia?
Miss Sophia. It's Sophia McIntosh.
Sophia McIntosh. And
then when you say Miss Sophia, it's MISS, not MS, because a lot of people be looking for me and they be like, well, I went on there and I couldn't find. It's MISS, not MS. MISS. Crooked letter. Y'all better pay Nikki Gilbert her money. P-Valley. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. That just said came in my spirit, honey. And somebody else better pay me my... I ain't talking about that, but you know who you are. You owe me, and somebody else is on the list now that owe me. You got me too. There's a couple people out there. I ain't calling y'all name, but you have an opening next month because I'm coming into the new year, honey. I'm shooting straight from the hip, honey. And if you invite me back, and I'm calling out names, who I think gay, and who I think lesbians, and who owed me money, and who stole from me. I feel like
God.
what's it called? They all stole from me. B. Arthur, what Jennifer Lewis, honey.
Oh my God, you were a hoot. Thank you, Miss Sophia, for coming on the show.
You're welcome, girl. And congratulations. I love this. Oh, this is nice, honey.
Thank you.
This is your place.
This is our studio, child. This is our studio. But guys, if you love Miss Sophia, you can check her out at Miss MISS Sophia or Sophia McIntosh on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. But if you guys like more of this content, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And you guys can reach out to us directly at info@smittyandee.com. Again, that's info@smittyandee.com. And until next time, guys, take care of one another.